Hello, my friends. I recently found this on a Coinstar tray. The reason why they didn't take it is because they're stuck together. Now, I did find a small batch of coins in it the other day, including a US quarter, Canadian nickel, and a few pennies. Nothing too special. Hello, Kevin. But today, I happened to go by and saw this. Now, I thought there was a chance it might be a lower mintage type thing because it's a 1 year thing. It's a 100 years of Saskatchewan. I think that's how it's pronounced, or something similar to that. Canada. But they made quite a few of them, so it's not considered rare. And being that it's Canadian quarter, it's really not worth much. Now, I did go by my bank. I'm going to go ahead and grab this to show you. This is Kelly Green coin glass. This is for, hold on a second. This is for the Acadian Carpenter. This is the Kelly Green. This thing is the olive green. You can tell it's a darker color. But he said he likes green, and he's looked at some of these kind of pieces online. So this is for him to see. Now, what we're going to look at, we'll move the redstone out of the way. Just set this right down and start talking about the Wounded Eagle die error on dollar coins. So go by the bank, and asked him, do you have any dollar coins? We had this many of them. Now, it's not going to be the Susan B. Anthony dollar. And it's not going to be 2000 Denver, which is what this one is. It's going to be 2000 Philadelphia, which there's 2001, and there's a presidential 2000 Philly. The 2000 Philadelphia is the one that has the die cracker, another presidential. Looks like I've got at least 4 of them. Another presidential and another 2000 Denver. And they made over 700 million of these Philadelphia ones. So we double check each one of these, make sure they're all Philadelphia, and they all are. So what I'm looking for, and there could be more known because are out there there's over 100 known from what I understand. That is not going to be one. There will be a little raised portion running in this kind of direction. You can look it up online, and good examples of these that aren't really worn that have that are probably worth at least $50 to collectors. Neither one of those two are. That one isn't either. This one's probably about the best condition of the ones I just got, although, see, that's a gouge in the coin right there going up and down. It's more of an angle, and it will be raised. So this one is not it either. So all 13 of these can go back to circulation. I will likely spend them at Kroger at one of their self-checkouts because they take them. Is it actually 13 it's supposed to be? And it is 13 random dollar coins. Now, to my other coin dealer, and he has this big monster box with foreign coins in it. A few weeks ago, I asked him, because he's selling them for $0.25 a piece, you could pick through and take whatever you want. So I was asking him if I happen to find a silver coin in there, would it still be $0.25? And he goes, I don't think you will, but if you do, that box, anything in it is going to be $0.25. So let's talk about one of the coolest looking things I found. Is this piece. I have this coin, or ones like it. Oh, wait. It's 10 centimes, I believe. The hole in the middle is not the interesting part. That's the way they are. Someone rolled this up on the edge a lot because they don't have a rim like that. All right, let's talk about a couple other ones I picked up. I didn't pick up a whole lot, so this won't be a super long video. Now, I don't really know if I have any coins from Kenya at all. So these 10-cent coins from Kenya are kind of interesting. They're very big. When you compare it to the United States dime, it's a huge difference. Why they made them this way, I don't really know. These run from 73 until 1980. I believe they're copper. First president on these two. And then this is a different president on the 1980 one. All the same size. Now, grab this one because this head shape reminds me, or makes me think of an Italian coin. But the wear and tear on this is so much, or Italian king, an Italian coin I already have. But where the date and the denomination are right in here, I can't tell. So it's that worn. Now this is for Addicted to Minis. That right there is a sailboat. It's not very big. It's not a ship. And this is a coin from the United Arab Emirates, which I don't know that I had one from there before this. Now, not all these things are actually coins. This Casino, St. Charles, Missouri. This is a gaming token, which I like. I have a few other ones over here in this pile, and this is one of them here, that little bit smaller one, 1988. I don't think the casinos typically use those anymore. Now, I wasn't going to get this particular coin at first, and I tossed it back in the monster box because that's what it was. with a monster box full of world coins, and then it took me about 2 minutes to find it. It's kind of a neat looking coin. And then there's this, which is a state token of some sort. It says Maryland, the States of the Union. You flip it over on this side, and it's Kentucky. It's got horses on it. It says Kentucky in Maryland, which is kind of neat, but not super, valuable or anything. All right, then there's another casino token, 25 cents. The Alton Bell Casino, which, like I said, I don't think they still use these at all. This one was used quite a bit, as you can tell by the wear and tear on it. Let's see. I decided I would go ahead and get another one of these British half pennies. King George on it. This one is from, what year was that? 49. Then this, for Addicted to Minis, this is also a sailboat. This looks like a racing style sailboat. You can see that the hull itself there's no real big, like, aft castle or anything like that. All right, kind of grabbed this one because it's got an elephant on it. It's Somalian, and it's not really worn out too much. It says one centesimal, 1950. It's kind of neat. So we're keeping the coins on this side and the other stuff on that side. The other stuff being different things. All right, this one. This is the Gemini 7, Stafford and Sierra. I don't know. All right. On this it says mission rendezvous with Gemini 7 Rocket Titan 2. Kind of neat. So that's going over in the token side. Now, I find Canadian cents in my change often, but none this old. Not with King George V. And the design is much different than the more modern ones. It's a 1932. It's kind of neat. Not worth a quarter, but I grabbed it anyway just because I wanted it. Well, this one is 1931. So I got two back-to-back years. It's kind of dark and a little bit ugly, but whatever. Now, the Caribbean territories, the Eastern Group, 1955, has a ship on it. That is a ship. That's a sailing ship for Addicted to Minis. And one thing they talk about is on a sailing ship, if a lot of the action of the ship goes on below the deck, which just has the aft castle or whatever they call them in the back, and it's got holds underneath for hauling provisions and other stuff, either for the sailors to eat or to take back from their journey. I do believe this ship is another depiction of that one, which is 3 masts. Once you get to 3 masts, you're starting to talk about a pretty good sized ship. Then here's a Portuguese one, which is 1974. Someone drilled a hole in it. Neat, but not really worth much. I don't know why I grabbed this one. It does look like it's kind of uncirculated, but this on the back is very unsightly. And there was more of them in the box. I could have, or monster box. Could have got a nicer looking one. And a Cinco Centavos. Now, sometimes I'm talking about coins. I'll get centavos and centimes and stuff mixed up and call one that's centavos a centime or otherwise. Don't really mean to do it, but it happens. Now, I saw this in there, and one of the other guys that was there was telling me this is a wartime ration token or something. So I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but that's what he said. And since I don't really know, I'm just showing it. It's very small, don't weigh much. And if that's what it is, I have a feeling some people lost their tokens often because this thing is tiny. Now, getting back to the fact that I was asked him a few weeks ago, I said, if I find a silver coin in there, what are you going to, because whatever's in that box is a quarter. I didn't have time and don't want to look through the entire box. Well, I can tell you people right now, 1943, this is sterling silver from Australia. It is a florin. So I was able to get this for a quarter, and its melt value is probably close to $10. Being that it is, I don't have a 50-cent coin out here, but it's bigger than the US dollar coin by a little bit. And it is silver, so it's kind of a neat piece to get. And sometimes when you have silver and you're not real sure, you think it might be silver, if you can get it to drop on a hard glass surface like this, or even spin it and listen to it roll out, it has a sound that's different. Now, this is big enough, with a little luck, I can ping it. And stuff like copper in this dollar coin won't ping quite like silver does. But the British, at this time, if you got a florin from Great Britain, it was 50% silver by this time. They stopped using sterling, I believe it's 1919. But by 43, they were using 50% silver for their silver coins. And only a few years after this, they would stop using silver at all. I'm not really sure what year it was that Australia quit using silver, but they were using silver for this. So I got this for a quarter, which makes the $5 I spent on all the coins, pretty meaningless. I do like the fact I was able to get a silver one out of the thing. He said there could be a few in there, but he wasn't going to look through what was probably, the monster box was a couple inches deep in it, so it was a lot of coins. Now, we can take this stuff out because I do have a couple rolls of cents. So we'll start pulling all these out of here. And for now, I'm just going to put them back in the envelope folder that they came in. All of them, even the silver one. And show you that. I'm going to go ahead and search a couple rows. Don't know what I'm going to find. But what I'm looking for is 1981 and older memorials and any wheat cent I could find. So we'll just grab the first row. That's not a real new one. It's an 82. And it could be copper. And that is, looks like 1980. So this one's got older coins in it, which is what I want. I don't want a row of all brand new cents. No. For the fact that who wants that? I want copper, because copper, $1 worth of copper's pennies, 100 of them, is worth, I just looked, a little over $3 in copper in 100 pennies or cents. All right, let's start looking. The one was 1980. See, 1980, so that is copper. 2014, I do not need. 88. 81. And a fairly nice looking one. Not very much wear and tear, so that's kind of neat. If you see that on the back, it's zinc plated with copper. Well, here's two copper ones right off the bat. (1971), 1976. So out of the first 12 or 13, I got 4 coppers. A pretty good start. I get a few more out. Start looking real quick. There's a 61 Denver. Like I said, when you see that shield back right there, that's for sure not copper. 95, 99, 2006, another shield back. Couple more that aren't copper, and there's another copper one. That one could be. But I'm not sure. 83, it's older, but not old enough. So what were the two I just got? (1961) Denver and 1978. So we're up to 6 and about half the row. Some of these rolls I've recently got, I got 14 or 15 of them in them, so this one slipped out, and I'm thinking, the way that looks, I haven't looked at the date side, but I'm thinking that's definitely got to be a copper one. 1981. After you look at a bunch of these, you get a good eye for the fact that the older coins have more relief, and that has a different look than the plating for some reason. That's likely copper. I haven't even looked at it. 1959, so yeah. 75. That's not shield, not. Oh, we got a Canadian in here. what year was it? All right, now if you remember the one I just showed you from Canada, and that one thing does not have the maple leaves like that on the back, so that's interesting. We'll put that there. And what did I get copper wise? Last two coins in that little batch. 1959 Denver and 1975. All right, we got about 15 coins left. We should get all of them out on this one. Slight possibility that might be copper. 86. That one is 74. I think that might be too. 81. Looks about as good as the other 81 I just pulled. 95 isn't. Those two aren't. 87. Well, would you look at that? Another Canadian cent in this. It's not really a good thing to get these because, unfortunately, the Canadian cents aren't really worth much. But 9 times out of 10, you can spend them because a lot of people don't look. They just count the number, and that's all they worry about. Now, the other end was an 82 Denver. There's a chance it could be a copper one, but I have to weigh it. I don't want to have to weigh them. I want 81 was last year. They were copper, so I know that's copper, and that one is too. So how many did I get in that one row? It looks like 5, 11. Getting over 10 isn't too bad, I guess. And I'm going to put these copper ones in there. Ultimately, I'm going to dump that cup into here and try to fill this coffee jar. One more row and then we're done. So take the little screwdriver and force it into the paper and start peeling. First off, though, there's a shield on one end and an 88 on the other. So there are older coins in this with the 88. And if you're trying to find copper ones, you gotta get the older ones. You see a brand new shield one on both ends, you might possibly have a whole row of them, or all newer ones. Sometimes this paper don't want to tear very well. Let's try the other side. Get that under there and give it a good. All right, there we go. We can get this end going. I have a feeling there's probably a few copper ones in here. That fatter looking one right there. We'll grab a few of these and start looking at them and see what we get. So am I right about that fatter looking one? 78. Definitely copper. 2003. 2023. Oh, well, that's probably an older one, but is it old enough? 88. All right. That one right there, that fat looking one right there, I think is copper. 64. So 64. So I have a 78 and a 64. That was a 94. I saw the date before it slipped. This one's an 81, so that's copper. Only 3 out of this second row so far. Might not do as well as the other one. Like I said, if you see the shield, you're not getting copper. But I do see we're getting another Canadian. All right, that's not copper. 1984, Canada. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but this one has a slight flat edge and then corners, very small corners going around the edge of it. They did that for a few years. I don't even know how long, but I thought it was kind of funny looking when I first saw one. I'll grab another batch. We don't have a whole lot more to go. All right. That ain't copper. This might be. 1981. Almost, but not going to be. 93. 2024 one. Another shield, 2001. That's a possibility. If it is, maybe I can hold this in such a way you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Let's get rid of that one. I know it isn't copper. See how that looks? And then look at this one. Stairs seem like they're a little bit more relief and stuff. So that's 2000. This one is 1968, Denver. Where'd that? I don't know where it went. Let's just compare it to this 88. Kind of look at the relief around Lincoln's head and stuff, how it's kind of rounded and the edge of the coin rounded out. You look at this one, you don't see as much rounding. That's what I mean by higher relief. When you see a higher relief coin on these, you know it's an older one. That's one way to tell real quick. All right, we've only found 4 coppers in this, and we got about one more batch of coins. Not real good on this row. Well, there's a 77 right there. That's another one. Shield, that won't be. That doesn't look right to be copper. 86, 2021, 2015, 78, that's copper. I'm thinking that's going to be copper. This one right here. (2015), let's see, 79. That's the end of the cents. And there was 3 more that in that last little batch that were copper. 77, 78, and 79. The one I set up there was an 81. So out of this second row, first row was like 11. This is 8 coins that were copper. Not very good. But I do think with the other cup I have that I've been throwing from my change, I'm getting pretty close to having enough of these copper cents to fill up the coffee jar. Because it's pretty full as it is. I'm guessing about 2/3 full. With the height of this and the weight, it's kind of hard to hold it in such a way. You can see there's quite a bit of empty space. So we're going to be adding those cents to that coffee jar. Now, I did have a smaller one, this one, and I had enough copper to totally fill it. So I got one that's twice the size in terms of how much coffee it held. This was, that one holds 7. So that's pretty much all I have on this stuff. But other than to say that the monster box my coin dealer was talking about, these foreign coins that I bought, he told me if I found a silver one in there, it's still a quarter, because he bought a really big collection of foreign coins, and a lot of them weren't silver, and he just threw them in a monster box. But this was in that box. He said anything in there, it's a quarter. So it's just dumb luck to find this Australian 1943 florin in a box that's supposed to be mostly modern world coins that aren't worth much. So I'm kind of happy to get one at a decent price. You can't get much cheaper than a quarter for an actual silver coin. So it pretty much ties in this whole little night. Now I am going to say one thing. I'm real close on my channel to reaching 1 million views, and I have over 2,900 subscribers. So I've done well in those 2 different ways, but I don't have all the requirements for monetization of my channel. So I'm not never made a dime doing this. Just done it as a hobby and having fun and, you know, occupying time and doing something, leaving something behind. So I hope everyone has a real good night. 7 people liked. If anyone who's still watching wants to like because they like this kind of content, please hit the like button. But I really don't have anything else for tonight, so I'm going to wish you all a good night, because that's all I have.